if one of my moderators, could you please look up Rethinking the Dollar and put up his link? Because I highly recommend that channel, right? I've shouted him out in the past, but he is a great and undervalued or underrated YouTube channel. Great person, does a great job explaining the economy and all that kind of stuff. And he's a good person. But anyways, I'm watching and I'm in there on the live stream and, I'm saying hi to Michael and stuff. And he pops up what I'm going to pop up here in a minute, showing me that the President of the United States, President Biden, he is now saying in the open, expect food shortages, expect prices of food to escalate, not only in the United States, but worldwide. Of course, we know what they're blaming it on, but the point is this, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you, and I truly do hope that there is someone that watches this video, either on the replay or that is here now, that thought that this was all a joke, that thought that prepper channels are just saying this to get clicks, that thought that, hey, this can never happen here. I hope you're listening to this now. This is not an I told you so episode of the Alaska Prepper channel. This is a you better get ready now. Because now that it's in the open, now that someone of authority is putting it out there in the mainstream media for the world to hear.
This is an industrial-sized freeze dryer. It's large enough to hold up to 10,000 pounds of food.
That is equivalent to about 15 people's worth of food for a year.
Eric Christensen is the CEO of Nutrient Survival.
And now even Nutrient Survival has made it to the mainstream. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think that the shelves are going to stay full? If they're full where you live, do you think that things are going to cost the same in 2 weeks than they cost now? The last several times that I've visited Costco to go on a payday prep or on just a regular shopping trip, every single time that I've gone, I've seen something or another that had gone up in price drastically, meaning 10, 20, 25%, 50% more than it was the last time that I was there. The first one was the olive oil that went up from like $20 or so to now over $31, right? That's 50% plus. Then the pasta that had gone up from $10 to $12.59. Then the chicken that had gone up from less than $10 or just a little, no, $10.78, I think, to $15.69. That's almost a 50% increase. Then the regular vegetable oil that had gone up from 2 3-liter bottles that was less than $10 to $14, $15, 50% increase. Ladies and gentlemen, now that someone with authority has told the masses, in my opinion, the masses, those people that only look to who they think authority is, are going to go out there and start buying. So if you are not prepped, if you don't have everything you're going to need, I would say for myself, for a year or longer, I would say that if it were me, I would be out there getting it right now. Because the longer you leave your cash in the bank, the more value it loses and the less things you'll be able to buy later on. Just ask your average Russian citizen whose ruble went down in value by almost 100% in the span of 1 or 2 days. It's recovered some since then, but it's still lost a lot of value, all right, since they started doing the stuff they're doing in Ukraine and sanctions and everything. And some people may say, well, that's Russia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do you think that the Russian citizens were thinking about that? Do you think that they were thinking that from one day to another, they were going to lose 50 to 100% of their purchasing power? Do you think that the government is going to tell you, hey, tomorrow you're going to lose 50 to 100% of the purchasing power of your dollar. So you better take your money out of the bank today and you better go buy stuff with it today because tomorrow it's going to be worth half of what it is today. Do you really think they're going to tell you that? Do you think that they told the citizens of Russia that before it happened? Do you think that they told the citizens of Venezuela before that happened, or Zimbabwe or Argentina? And I can go on and on and on. It happens all the time. The problem is here in these United States and most Western developed nations is that we as a society have what is called recency bias. Recency bias is different from normalcy bias. Normalcy bias is someone saying, this can't happen because I've never seen it happen, right? It's never happened to me, so it can't happen. That's normalcy bias. Recency bias is, this can't happen because it's never happened in my lifetime. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that for this generation, they're going to have a lot of things happen in their lifetime that has happened in generations before that are not good things. So if you're not prepped now, this is the time to go out there and prep. I'm telling you that when this thing hits, it's going to hit very fast. All right? Eventually, they will wake up to the fact that they are responsible for themselves and their families. And when they go to that bread line and there's no bread left, what's going to happen? By that time, the shelves will be dry. Look at the food banks across the United States. I can pull up articles right now on food banks across the United States that are running out of food to give to people. So all of these lines that you saw during the health crisis of miles-long lines of cars waiting to get to a food bank to get free food, where are all of those people going to get food if the food banks run out of food, ladies and gentlemen? That is the question. Where are they going to get it? Are you going to give them your food? They are going to start panic buying like there's no tomorrow. They're going to wipe out their credit cards. They're going to max everything out. I mean, people act very irrational when they don't know what's ahead. It's like a knee-jerk reaction. When, let's say, for example, that if there's someone on the sidewalk and they fall and they break their ankle and nobody stops to help them, right? Then usually no one will stop to help them. But if one person stops to help them, then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of other people will stop to see, hey, can I help you? What's wrong? What's this? What's that? Right? It's a herd mentality. When people see that a few people are out there panic buying and it's covered in the news for one split second, it's over, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? There is not enough food in the supermarkets to last 3 days. I know that many say that supermarkets have enough food on the shelf for about 3 days. I would say not. I would say for hours. Once the people wake up to what is happening, there is enough food on the shelves for hours, ladies and gentlemen. That is why I say don't go out there and panic buy. If you're not getting it steadily right now, you are going to be left behind. And I'm telling you, the government's not going to be there to take care of you when it really counts. When has it ever been, ladies and gentlemen? Answer yourselves that question. I saw a great comment up top that I missed, and someone says that they got a part-time job. Okay, let's see. Samantha says, I got a part-time job and my prepping journey has been a lot easier. That is awesome. I am glad that I looked for your comment. You can do it. It doesn't matter what your socioeconomic status is, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to do something, don't tell yourself that you can't do it. Tell yourself, how can I do it? If you want something out of life, and this is not just about prepping, if you want something out of life that seems to be out of reach, don't tell yourself that you can't do it just because you can't do it in that moment. Tell yourself, how can I do it? What can I do in order to be able to do this or to be able to get this thing that I want? All right. There's not one successful person, ladies and gentlemen, not one successful person that hasn't fallen down. Getting up is what makes you succeed in life. It's getting up. All right. If you fall down and you stay down, you're not going to succeed. But getting up after you fall, that is what makes you succeed in life. So don't keep yourself down by limiting yourself to those things that you can and can't do right now, because all we have is time. Use time to your advantage. Use time to be able to get those things that you want and or need out of life. So thank you for that, Samantha. That is awesome. That made my day to read that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you all day how great I think Nutrient Survival is. However, I found this tool that Nutrient Survival inserted into their webpage that allows you to see for yourself exactly what it is that you are paying for when compared to other popular long-term food storage or survival foods. Now, I'm not picking on Mountain House here, but I wanted to show you real quick. The Nutrient Survival Triple Mac Cheese compared to the Mountain House Creamy Macaroni and Cheese. This is what you're getting, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I think Nutrient Survival, not think, but know, is the most nutrient-dense survival food or even food that there is in the market. If you go to this tool and you just go ahead and put your cursor or your mouse over any of these nutritional items here, it tells you and it compares what it is that it has along with what Mountain House has. So, for example, if I go to protein, it shows that a serving of Triple Mac cheese has 24% of your daily value of protein, whereas in Mountain House, it's 15%. Fiber, as you can see, 21% to 0. Omega-3s, 22% to 0. Omega-6, only 7%, but also compared to 0. And if you go ahead and put this over anything that you have any concerns over, for example, sodium, only 11% of the daily value per serving, whereas with Mountain House, you're using up 30% of your daily value. I often get asked, why is Nutrient Survival pricier than other long-term food storage companies? Well, in my opinion, it's not, because you're not getting the same with other long-term food storage companies, as you see here, than you are with Nutrient Survival. Here's their Homestyle Scramble, which is compared to their breakfast skillet. And you can see right here, all you have to do is point. And I can do this all day, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the lasagna with meat sauce. And even though, let me point this out, even though the Mountain House lasagna with meat sauce has actual freeze-dried meat in it, whereas Nutrient Survival is no meat at all, it's vegetarian, look at this, 22% of your daily value of protein, whereas in Mountain House you only get 13%. The Maple Almond Crunch, which is awesome. I like to have it with milk and a little bit of honey, compared to the Oxen Farms Oats and Honey Granola. Same story, ladies and gentlemen. You are getting what you pay for, which is the nutrients that your body needs every day in order to survive and thrive, not just survive. Calories is king. This is what you're getting when you get Oxen Farms Oats and Honey Granola. Now, like I said, I'm not picking on any particular company. I just want people to know that this is the very best nutrient-dense survival food in the market. So feed your freedom with Nutrient Survival.